The key theme will be the role of behavioral sciences and gamification in the shift to mobile and even glass. So I'll be looking at a number of things. One will sort of try to examine the biological and psychological roots of behavior. So we'll be looking at sort of, if you think about even going back to basics, the competition between the limbic system and our cognition. So to simplify that, that's our gut versus logic. And how customers can help, how journeys can help consumers manage their short-term self against their long-term self. Really, in effect, trying to simplify contexts to sort of make decision-making easier. And I think that will then lead us into a discussion around the role of behavioral sciences, so identifying and modifying behavioral patterns and using or avoiding common behavioral biases and heuristics. So looking at things like framing, choice architecture, pro-social behaviors, and commitment mechanisms. And then finally, touching on gamification and its value in the experience. So how can you leverage gamification by creating clearly defined objectives, structuring the game mechanics, and providing short and long-term rewards that help create new habit loops so that consumers can act consistently over time with clear social and emotional rewards. I think the biggest challenges facing them is that there has been rapid behavioral change. Non-bank banks and other entities have been much more innovative in this space, much more aggressive, and so consumers are beginning to react to that, whereas banks, I think, are constrained and hindered by a number of internal issues that will keep them moving slowly. So the challenges for them are going to be how do you break out of a existing business model into a new business model and address some of the sort of political, economic, and structural changes that are required. Well, Moven, because it's a de novo institution, is able to sort of take a blank slate and build this from scratch. So we're able to reimagine the banking experience completely. We're a mobile-first company. We believe that moving towards mobile is where the world is going to be in the next few years. We don't have branches. We don't have a traditional method of onboarding customers or managing the customer experience. So to some extent, our ability to innovate without constraints is extremely helpful. The second is that we've been willing to experiment with new methods of interacting with consumers and managing customers through a journey that I think banks are starting to take on, but not to the degree that we have been. I think it will evolve very dramatically. I think once consumers begin to recognize that there's a new way of interacting with institutions, that the value proposition is not centered around the holding of assets or the facilitation of payments, but more around decision making and managing themselves, that people will begin to expect more. You'll see the role of data increase as people look to peer comparisons and statistical analysis and behavioral sciences to give them better and deeper insights about themselves. I think you sort of look at Google Now and imagine a Google Now of finance. That is, I believe, where we'll be heading, where you have an app or glasses that will provide you with daily guidance, feedback as you go throughout your day, and insights on a periodic basis to sort of help you optimize your life choices. It isn't necessarily about having the greatest amount of assets. I think it'll be all about helping people optimize happiness over time. Oh, I'm very excited about it. It's actually my first time. I know that my colleagues here at Moven have attended for the last couple of years. So I'm very much looking forward to sort of meeting with others who are on this road towards creating a better customer journey.